Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to Energy Medicine with Monica. I'm Monika Marzak, holistic professional practitioner, and I use Body Talk as my go-to, as well as other tools on my belt to see what's ready to be shifted, and by observing what's ready to be shifted, transmutation and alchemy happens spontaneously. So, in today's work, what we're going to be moving out of the body mind is coming up as fear. So, as soon as I say fear, I could feel various different ways that the amygdala complex is firing off. So, we've got fear of the future, fear of the unknown is coming in here, fear of what might happen, fear of what might not happen. And in there, somehow comes self-doubt. And that's coming up quite strong. So did I do this okay? Did I make the right choice? That thing that I did 20 years ago or 10 years ago or even a week ago, did I make the right decision? Did I make the wrong decision? And so we've got fear. With this is not the healthy aspect of fear. So we need to go and do a bring in the small intestines, which is discernment. It's not the same thing as analytical thinking. The small intestine comes and it discerns, and it does so spontaneously. We need to bring in that energy of the small intestines to start unwinding and untwisting wherever it is held for you in your body mind. So I'm bringing in everyone's prefrontal cortex. So everyone will be holding this pattern of fear-based consciousness on the pathological side of what I just spoke about in different parts of their body. So the body's like a big sponge and it holds. And so sometimes I like to think of the body as a sponge. It goes and it just sucks everything in. And sometimes that sponge becomes too full. And it's not very much that's needed to kind of put it over the edge. So what we're going to do here is unwind the involvement. There we go. There's a nice burp for energy starting to move of your fearful thoughts, whatever they may be for you. So you can think for yourself your fearful thoughts as they come up, whether that be dread or fear of the future, fear of the unknown, fear of change, fear of not changing. Oof. Uh, Fear of the choices you've made one way or another. We're bringing in the prefrontal cortex so we can scan. If you can think for yourself, if you're listening to the session live, if you're catching the recording, you can think of your own fearful thoughts. And we're going to use that small intestines for discernment to help untwist self-doubt and fearful thinking out of your body mind. It's coming up as the back of the neck. So the occipital brain is coming in, the amygdala complex, and we want a healthy amygdala. The amygdalas tell us when there's actually danger. We need those amygdalas. They shoot up into that sympathetic nervous system. Ooh, there was a really big release there. Um, and then we go into fight, fright, freeze, fawn. We need that sometimes, if there's a car coming at us and we're about to cross the street, and then our nervous system picks that up and the amygdalas freeze and you use fear and you're frozen in place. That's a healthy expression of fear. Or when you're about to put your hand on something hot, like a burner, that fear comes in that you're not going to actively go and put your hand into something that's dangerous or that might hurt you. That's a healthy expression of fear. But when it's twisted up with pathological thinking, the expression of a pathological consciousness of fear, it kind of gets convoluted and mixed up. So then the gallbladder's not able to work properly, and catalyze you into making a choice, and the liver is not able to organize and plan. That's the seat of the soul in Chinese medicine is the liver. It's not able to organize what needs to be done practically in your day. You're frozen in non-action, or there's a fight response, or a freeze response, or a fawn, which comes into as a translation in today's world as people pleasing. So we're working all, so I brought in the gallbladder, I brought in the liver, I brought in your prefrontal cortex, I brought in the occipital brain. So the occipital brain is connected to the eyes, and so it directly impacts how you see yourself, how you see others, how you see your life. It all impacts uh, those those things. So um, we've just had someone come in. I'm just gonna wish I could mute. So whoever's joining, please go ahead and mute yourself upon arrival here. I'm sorry, this is throwing me right off. So the occipital brain dictates how you see things and the filters from which you see things. So we're untwisting. It looks like a bunch of Christmas lights. We're bringing in that small intestines, that consciousness, that energy of discernment to start to pick away and separate what is healthy fear and what is a pathological consciousness or a pathological expression of fear. So all of those thoughts that I brought up before at the beginning of the session. Wonderful. So I'm seeing it starting to relax and it feels like butter melting. I could feel my body mind relaxing. I feel my forehead getting nice and soft. I can feel tension running off of my face. So you can see for yourself or feel for yourself where it was tense and now there's a relaxation. Wonderful. Now that I'm bringing my attention is being brought to my gut. The gut is so important. I work diligently to make sure that I have a healthy gut biome and that my gut is healthy, as a lot of people may think that it's the brain that makes your choices. It's actually not. It's the gut brain. That gut brain is supposed to be the leading force or the decision maker in your life. Intuition, that intuitive guidance. It doesn't come from the head. It doesn't come from the heart. It comes from the gut. So this is why we have these sayings. Oh, it was a gut feeling. Oh, it was a gut reaction. Then we have other sayings like, oh, I don't know, I got to digest this piece of information before I make a choice. Oh, that doesn't really sit right with me. This is all gut oriented. So we're going to go ahead and do a little cleanup for the gut, that microbiome in the gut brain, the small intestines, the duodenum, even going into that large intestines, which is the consciousness of letting go. So there's some forcing happening here. Letting go just happens. You cannot force to let go. And isn't it that the more you force to let go, the more you hold on? It's kind of counterintuitive. So we're going to go ahead and do a nice cleanup here of that small intestines to get that gut brain working. And it feels really cold. So we're going to go in and do a element balance in here. We need to bring up the fire in the gut. That small intestines' natural element is fire. It needs to be warm for digestion, for synthesis, for alchemy, for that intuition to come forward, that fire in your belly that propels you in your life. So it's it feels watery and soupy in there. So water is excess emotions, and emotions are good. Well, I don't want to say good. They're neutral. Emotions are neutral, and only thinking about your emotions make it good or bad. Your judgment of your emotions make it so. So we're going to go ahead and do an elemental balance here of a few things. We're going to bring in earth energy to soak up that water, that soupiness that's happening in there. So it could be over emotional. There we go. It's coming up as over emotionality. Even if that's really on the rigid side of negating the emotions or trying to numb your emotions or trying not to feel your emotions, or on the more masculine side, not whether you're in a feminine or male body, where I'm talking about masculine and feminine essence, which everybody has. And if that masculine goes too rigid, then it says to the feminine within you, make this make sense. And you cannot make sense of an intuition. And demanding sense of your intuition is what creates conflict within. Okay, so we're cleaning all of this up. I'm going to do this through a circulation plugin called Acidri. Really cleaning it up. That's an advanced body talk method. Just making sure that all the maximal healing potential for your body is happening right now. We're doing a massive spring clean, or just getting ready for that winter season to come in, and making sure that that large intestines that is moving, the chi within that large intestines is moving nicely. So what is ever ready to be shifted and transmuted into wisdom for you, and whatever is junky can leave the system through a bowel movement. I'm going to bring in a hydration through the descending colon, which is also in relation to fear. So we started off with this session with releasing pathological fear. So fear of the unknown, fear of change, fear of the future, fear if you made the right choice or not. So we're going to dump all of that out, bringing in that hydration through the descending colon, so this whole session can wrap up nicely with an exit of whatever's ready to leave may leave. There we go. I'm going to tap this in. I tap the head. So waking up the brain and say, good morning, brain, or good afternoon, brain. This is the new operating system, healthy operating system from which to work. We tap the heart because the heart is the one that remembers. Teachers, I used to teach for 15 years. Teachers don't say remember it by heart, by brain, they say remember it by heart, as your heart remembers. There's actually neural cells within the heart. Here we go, there's the breath. And now we tap over the gut, that enteric brain, that intuition. We're waking up the gut for synthesis and release. Whatever's ready to go leaves. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was a pleasure to be here with you. Please, if you found this valuable, like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and let's get healing out for the rest of the world. Have a wonderful weekend.